What is happening, you beautiful sons of... What is happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Today we have a couple of things we're going to throw into the E90 M3. The first part is the Rennline phone mount. I have this in the F30 and it is by far the best phone mount for our cars, BMWs. They also make them for the E90, it turns out. This is great because it's like a factory bolted. The reason that I love this phone mount is because it bolts into the factory screws in the BMW behind the accessory panel. And I'm gonna show you guys how to install it. It's really, really simple, but like I said, I have this in the F30 and it's just rock solid. It doesn't go anywhere. It's super, super sturdy, very easy to install. The magnet is really strong on it. And now that I have one in the F30 and about to have one in the E90, it's easy to just hop into each car. So the drawback, obviously it doesn't have wireless charging. For a lot of people, that's kind of like a deal breaker, but the ones that I've found for wireless charging just aren't positioned in a good location, and the quality of them just really isn't that great either. So what I have done, I actually ran a USB to iPhone cable with these little magnetic adapters, so they just kind of clip in real simple, like you don't have to actually plug it in, it just grabs it. It's really, really convenient. And what I did was I ran it from the glove compartment through the back up to the front. But this way it's seamless, there's no wires showing, and it's really, really easy setup. I didn't want to go without this mount just to have wireless charging capabilities because honestly, I don't use the charging that often in my car unless I'm doing like a road trip or I'm driving really, really long distances. So that is my honest opinion when it comes to these phone mounts. Rennline is definitely the way to go. Like I always do, I'm gonna leave a link down in the description to where you can buy everything that I'm using. And then the last thing that we're gonna be putting on the E90 is the black M3 badges. Now, these were not factory. They actually don't make the E90 M3 badges factory in black. You can buy the F80 ones, which I actually have a set, but they're massive. They're way bigger than the E90 ones. So what I did was I had a local paint company actually go in and paint my factory brand new M3 badge to be black. Basically all of the chrome just turned to black. It's like a chrome delete. They did an okay job. I'm just gonna be like real with you guys. It's not the best job. I don't know if you can see it, but in the corners of like the colored part, the three stripes, you can see a little bit of chrome. Down the line, that's probably going to bother me. So there's a couple of things that we could do. We could go in and really just like fine clean up those little crevices with like a toothpick and some black paint. I might try that. I don't know. I'm gonna throw it on the car first and see how I like it and see if it stands out and if it's something that really, really bothers me. If it does, I'll just go ahead and fix it. I'm also talking to my good buddy Spencer Burke. You guys might know him on YouTube. He had E90 M3 and then now he has an E92 M3, and he actually picked up a badge that was painted by someone else, but I guess it's just a much better job when it comes to the painting. So I'm probably gonna end up taking that one off of his hands just to make things easier, but we'll see if we can remedy this. We'll see if we can kind of fix what we have right here. It's not, like I said, it's not horrible, but for most people, it's probably fine, but for me, I'm just kind of like over the top with some stuff. And that's just how I prefer to be with my cars and my builds. I like them to be really, really dialed in. So those are the two things we're working on today. Let's head up to the car and show you how to do all this. Here she is, all nice and tucked away. I still haven't put up the garage lights in here yet. I did order them, I just gotta install them. So obviously right now, I'm rocking no badge. I wanna know what you guys think about that. Should I just go badgeless? I kinda feel like it's just missing the M3 badge. It just, I don't know. I just think that it's gonna look better with the M3 badge on there, especially in black. So I'll show you guys the difference between the F80 one too. I have that in my car. I can kind of show you what it looks like. So let's head over to the F30 garage. We got to pick up a couple of tools. See, the lighting is dramatically better in here. So I got to install these lights into the other garage as well, so I have both set up. It's a little hot in the summer, but now it's starting to cool off just a little bit, and these are really great when you're working on the car, and obviously for me because I make videos. So you guys are for sure going to need trim tools. If you guys don't have a trim tool set already, just buy a set, because honestly I use these more than anything in my entire tool set. These are just like a must-have if you're working on cars. So we'll need a screwdriver. All right, so in the box they do give you full detail instructions. If you guys are wondering how to install it, I kind of already know how to do this, so I'm just gonna jump into my own installation. They also give you the mount piece, so this is gonna go right behind here. This lower panel, it's gonna sit right behind there, just like that, come out and hold your phone. And then I have a cable running from the glove compartment. So this isn't actually running behind the dash yet. I do think that at some point I'm going to run it behind there so it's completely tucked and you don't see anything. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it out here for the installation video. And then also you have these magnets. And so the magnets, you have a circular one and a big rectangle one. I use the big rectangular one because obviously it covers more area, and you just place it on the inside of your phone case. It goes through this entire phone case. This is like Alcantara on the outside, plastic on the inside, and it's super strong. The magnet is really, really strong, and it goes all the way through this entire case without any issues, so it should sit just like that. These two are by far the best magnetic designs that I've used yet on any phone mount. It's really, really strong. So this is the piece that goes onto the actual bracket. So when you have the bracket in there, this piece goes on top of it like that, and then you use this little guy with this locking washer and screw to kind of hold it in place and tighten it down. So what we're going to do is first we're going to take apart this whole piece, and the way to do that is to use your trim tool set. And what you want to do is just pry up this top piece right here. Two sides, it just clips right out. And just leave it undone. The reason that you're leaving it undone, you're not pulling it out all the way, you're just leaving it a little bit unclipped, is so you have room to remove the one underneath. So then you just work the sides of this, that side, and then move over to the other side, like that. Same thing up top here, like that, and then you can kind of jimmy this thing out. So there is a cable in the back. You don't need to take this all the way out. You can just leave it right there because we're just working over here in this little area. Phillips head screwdriver. There's two screws right here on the side, lower end. All right, so before we actually install the mount to the car, we're gonna wanna go ahead and install this piece on it. Basically, the way that we're gonna do this is the mount would sit on there like this, and then they give you this little screw. The screw with the locking washer would go in there like that. And then this little silver piece goes like this. And the silver piece is what the magnetic part actually connects to. So this part goes in there like that. You just loosen this screw on top, pretty much all the way, pop it in like that. And then I wouldn't tighten it all the way down because you're going to kind of change the angle once you actually put it in. So we'll just move it to the side just like this. And then we can go ahead and actually put this onto the factory accessory panel piece back here. So if you guys look at this piece on there, you can see the two holes right there. They'll line up really well. So all you're doing is putting those screws back in, and then this just sits right in here, super flush. Such a clean setup. So there you can see it. It's bolted in there with the two bolts. And obviously we have the mount piece like that. Go leave that to the side so we can move everything in. So then we just go ahead and reassemble it, throw this guy back in, clips right there, and then push our top piece back in. Their instructions tell you to move this entire top panel out, but you really don't need to do that. You can still jimmy it in there because the only top clips are these little guys right here, and there's enough room if you just lift this up to get it in and out. Such a clean setup. You just like literally can't see any brackets or anything. It just comes right out. Really, really clean. I just love it, man. It's the same deal that I have in the F30. It looks so good. So good. And so that magnetic cable that I have, it's obviously running behind here right now. These guys are awesome because it just grabs it. You don't have to really do much. Just literally just grabs the cable and then you're good. And it just starts charging it. So obviously the car isn't on right now, so it's not gonna charge it, but this only runs when the car is on, which is good because you don't wanna drain the battery of the actual car when the car isn't on. But these are just so convenient because magnetic, they just grab. You don't really have to do much. So the way that I have this running out right now, I don't know if you guys can see it, but you'll have to trust me. In here, there is a USB port for a phone cable. And so what I think I'm gonna end up doing is running the cable either behind all of this and have it come out with the actual mount, or running it through the side and come up through here. There's a few ways you could do it. You could probably do it underneath here too to come out under here. But either way, right now it doesn't really bother me the way it's set up, so I'm just gonna leave it. So that's the Rennline phone mount in the E90 M3. Now I do believe that the nav, like I have nav in mine, and I think that the nav bracket is a little bit different than the no nav bracket. It should be honestly like a similar process for installing it. So I think if you watch this and you don't have nav and you bought the no nav bracket, that it probably will still work for you. It's a very similar setup, so sturdy, man. It's just honestly the best setup. I love the one that I have in the F30. And you can angle this piece to go in any direction that you want. This works for me, it's pointed directly at my face. So, yeah, clean setup. Link down below, make sure you guys grab one, they're awesome. All right, so moving on to the next part of this. Up here, I have the F80 M3 badge. I love this badge because it comes factory black, so it's like perfect, it's perfect. But this is the E90 Factory Badge, obviously the painted one. And if you look at the difference, the size is like almost twice the size. So this is on this stick right now because that's how they painted it, but I just peel this off and it exposes the adhesive and then I'm good to go. The only thing is, you know, I don't know. Like, it's not like super duper massive, but it's just big enough to where it looks kind of odd on the E90 trunk. So I don't know really if you would want to roll with it. It's entirely up to you guys what you think is better. Obviously there's also the option to just go badgeless like I am right now. But I like having the badge on there, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the black badge. So the way I'm gonna do this is I brought up a picture obviously of the E90 with the M3 location, like the badge location, and that'll just kind of give me an idea of where I want it. Looks like it's just an inch kitty corner to the tail light, and then just, I don't know, like maybe a half an inch up from the actual trunk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a little bit of tape, and then right above the tape is where I'm gonna actually lay the badge. It looks like the 3 actually lines up with this trunk line, like the license plate area line. Looks like the 3 just lines up with that. So I'm gonna set it like right here. So the way that we're gonna do this is we're gonna lay on the 3 first because these aren't together in one piece. I just wanna make sure that the 3 lines up with the far side and then move on to the M. I think that's gonna be the easiest way to do it. So we'll just peel off the 3. Now I haven't actually pressed it on because I wanna make sure that I step away from it and look at it. It's always good to just step away from any like adhesive work and check it out because I feel like it never looks right when you're up close to it. I think that looks pretty good. The 3 is a little bit crooked. So you guys really won't be able to tell, like the paint isn't that great on the badge on camera or like from far away really. I can tell, I can definitely see it. There's just chrome showing. It's ugh. It's not completely dialed, but this is kind of how I did it. Just laid that tape down, lined it up with the edge, and it looks good. Looks really good. So I didn't press it down yet. Go ahead and take this tape off. Bam. What do y'all think? Is that the move? Rock with the black badge? I think that's the move. So once we do the diffuser and the extensions and the front lip, and there will be a little bit more black on the car, same with the exhaust tips, it will tie in a little bit more. Now I'm gonna go ahead and set these in. press those in for about 30 seconds. Yeah, I definitely like the black. Black is clean. It looks a little bit out of place right now because the exhaust tips are so chrome. It just looks a little weird, but I think once those are black and we have a little more black down here on the bottom with the carbon and whatnot, it's definitely going to tie in really well. So yeah, it looks good. As you can see, now that you're up close, see how booty that looks? So I'm gonna try and go in there with the toothpick and some paint and just fill that little chrome stuff in. They did I mean, it's a good job for what it is. Like, I can tell that all they did was just tape off the 3 colors and just spray it. You have to actually get in there and like paint it super, super fine touch brush or like a toothpick to fill those spots. If you don't do it like that, it's just not gonna be perfect. So as you can tell, mine isn't perfect, but it will be. But it looks fine for right now. So that is it, man. That's the setup for right now. I'll show you guys the difference between the F80 one. That's the F80 one. It's massive. It's massive. It just looks weird. Like, if you put this on the trunk, it just takes up way too much real estate. So I'm gonna return this one. All right, so there you guys go. A couple of easy modifications on the E90 M3. Love the way that this car is coming along. Up next, I think we're gonna have the carbon parts come in soon from Keys Motorsports. We're gonna do that, and we have some final touches that we need to do on the PPF. Other than that, the car is like completely dialed and ready to go into some performance stuff. As far as performance, I know this isn't performance, it's more in maintenance. I'm gonna be doing the rod bearings, the motor mounts, and I do have a slight valve cover gasket leak, so we're gonna go ahead and take care of the valve cover gasket leak, as well as just get a new valve cover. And then from there, we'll be ready to go into engine mods. I'm not gonna supercharge the car right away. I do think that I am gonna do some sort of forced induction down the road, whether it's a turbo or supercharger setup. I haven't decided yet. Obviously, that is like a big pill to swallow, super expensive modification. I'm gonna enjoy the car in its entirety for a while, work on some basic intake, exhaust, stuff like that, and then we'll move up from there. I also am getting a new oil cooler from, I believe I'm gonna do CSF. New oil cooler and maybe a new radiator. I haven't decided on like the radiator thing yet, because these cars, they stay cool. You really don't need to do a lot to them in terms of cooling, because they do a really good job of keeping the V8 cool, even when you're tracking it. And this is all coming from the research that I've done on E90 posts and Beamer posts and whatnot. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like I said, everything in this video is down in links in the description. If you guys wanna go ahead and pick the stuff up from there, do it. If not, that's fine too. I just appreciate you guys coming around and watching the videos. But as always, guys, if you have anything to add to the video, comment down below. Please make sure you go ahead and like the video. It helps me out as a content creator. Boost this video up in that algorithm. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you know every time that I upload a video. And subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, man. Come on, what are you doing? Anyways, just like that, this video's over and I'm out. Peace.